everybody, welcome to the first week of Treehouse of this school year in 2020. This crazy, weird year. It doesn't look like the way that we thought it would look. We can't have the same fun that we thought we would have, but that doesn't mean that we can't have fun. That doesn't mean that we can't be together. Me and Tammy and the rest of the Treehouse team and volunteers are still so committed to you all. We want to be there for you. We want to support you in whatever you need, whether it be tutoring or snacks and fun, whether it be somebody to talk to, whether it be a community, whether it be friends. We want to help provide that. So always please reach out. We also want to provide what I think will be some pretty fun teaching topics for support group and the gatherings when you get together with your small groups and your little pods. For the month of September, we are going to talk about life rules. So I used to have this boss when I was first out of college who had all these life rules that he said, and some of them, just for example, went like this. If you think, should I put deodorant on? You should put deodorant on. You know, he had like 100 of these little rules. Where another one like, if I'm asked how I like to cook my meat, always say medium, because you never know what they have on the other end. It's such a weird life rule. And it got me thinking, and Tammy and I were talking, what would it look like for us as Treehouse, for myself, for Tammy, for all the volunteers, for all of you all, to come up with some life rules in the month of September that are a little bit more serious than how you want your meat cooked or when you should put deodorant on, but things that you can live by. And when I kind of have done some research about this online, one of the things that comes up most often is the golden rule. Do you know the golden rule? It's basically treat others the way you want to be treated. The golden rule. And a lot of people say that is my life rule that I live by. So I want to ask you a question. What are your life rules? What are the rules that you live by? Are they really serious, like treat others the way you want to be treated? Or are they kind of silly, like if you think about putting on deodorant, you should put on deodorant? I wonder. Over the next couple weeks, we are going to hear from a few people who are going to help us develop our life rules. Now, I've been thinking about this, and I have a story that I want to tell that will relate to my one life rule I have so far. But I want to confess as well that I don't have it figured out yet. I don't have my life rule in place. I hope by the end of September I have something that I can land on, that I can write out, that I know this is a life rule to live by. I have one that's kind of like a half life rule that is a little bit more on the silly side, and it has to do with a story. When I was a junior in high school, I played football, but I really didn't like it at all. I didn't know why I was in it. I should have quit. I always wished I was like up in the stands with everybody. I don't know why I played, but I played. I played football. And in the summer, and many of you who are in fall activities know this, in the summer, at the end of the summer, you have to do 2-a-day practices where you go to the school at the morning and you have a big full football practice, and then you eat lunch, and then you have another practice. And it was brutal. It's like 2 practices a day. I already hate one, right? One of these times, if you were on the special teams group, you had to have a 3-a-day practice. You had to have 3 practices, right? So I went in the morning, brutal, ate lunch, had a practice in the afternoon, brutal. They sent me home. I ate dinner, and then I had to come back to the school, and I was just in a terrible, terrible mood. Like nobody could talk to me. I would have snapped at them. I wanted to like bang dents in the hood of my car. I was like, I could not believe I was getting back in my car to drive back to that school to go to that silly football practice. Like that's how I felt, and I was in such a bad mood. Got in my car, turned left out of my street, and there was a group of little kids who had a lemonade stand on the block next to my block, and I drove past them, and I was like, stupid kids in a stupid lemonade stand, they're such idiots, you know? And then I drove another block, and I was like, wait a minute, they're the smart ones, like they're not the stupid kids with the stupid lemonade stand. They're awesome. And so I turned around and I stopped at the lemonade stand. I had $1 and I was like, hey, I want to buy some lemonade from you. And they gave me like this much lemonade in a little Dixie cup and it cost $1. Really what they were selling was their cuteness. It cost $1. And I bought it and I drank it and got in the car and I never felt better. I felt so good. I went from like the world is ending, I'm so grumpy, to exchanging kind of like a kindness with these kids and drinking this little lemonade and just like remembering how fun it was to be a little kid. And it totally switched my mood. It made me go from feeling 0 to feeling 100. It felt so good. And so I made a life rule and I have a prop. Lemonade. I made a life rule that day that should I ever pass kids with a lemonade stand and I had spare change in my car or I had money in my pocket, that I would stop no matter what. No matter the hurry that I was in, no matter the mood I was in, I would always stop at a lemonade stand and get some lemonade. And I've done that. So I was 17 then, I'm 33 now. That's almost half my life. Every time I've passed the lemonade stand, if I've had money in the car with me, I've stopped. And every single time, it has improved my mood. Every single time. So, you can adopt my one life rule if you'd like, which is stop at a lemonade stand whenever you can. And that's my one life rule, but I'm going to try to develop another one over the course of this month, and I hope that you do too. It could be something sort of silly, like stop at a lemonade stand. It could be something much more deeper, like treat others the way that you want to be treated. But we're going to develop it together. As you go kind of from this talk and into your small groups, talk about this, brainstorm a little bit. What are life rules that you are aware of? What life rule do you want to implement? What are you kind of thinking of? Nothing has to be set in stone today or anything, but I want you all to start thinking of it. And I also want you to know that we're there for you. And cheers!